Hey, welcome back to UDC channel with Jay here. Unlike flashlight and wallets, I only had these two knives, and then I just added this recently. So I think I'm ready to make a let's talk video for mini pocket knives. Check out my other video regarding minimalist wallets and BDC flashlight. Knives are third in my list after flashlight and wallets in my collection. I started to get into knives about a year ago, right about when I got more serious into EDC stuff. I personally prefer a smaller folding pocket knives for portability. We can even call this tiny, but not too ridiculously puny that they are almost unusable or harder to use, I should say. This is my first pocket knives. Let me move this aside. A little bit history. Initially I was interested in the Kershaw Cryo and the Shuffle 2 with the cool tanto blade style, and I really love the black stone wash finish. It's just that it is still slightly too big for my purpose, so I look around and find a similar style smaller brother. This is the Kershaw Ember, came in this box. It's a flipper. They call it speed safe assisted opening, which also doubles as a finger guard. Has some jimping to provide a better grip, and it's a frame lock. Seems secure. It also has 3-position dip carry pocket clip. Left or right tip up and right only tip down, which also can be used as a emergency money clip in a pinch. If you watch my wallets review, I usually like to fold in thirds, but in this case I think folding it twice is a better fit. It is so small that it can only get a 3-finger grip, and there is no lanyard hole that I can add to provide a better hold. Actually, I might be able to use a pocket clip, reverse it, and somehow tie a loop, but normally I carry it using a letter organizer like so. I didn't opt for that option. There were some complaints, but mine came dead centered. Let's see what else. It's a Hinder design by Rick Hinder, who also designed the Cryo. I'll put some spec on the screen. If you want to see it. It came with the HCR 13 MOV. I don't know much about steel. Apparently, it's common for a cheaper knife, such as a CRKT Squid from another famous designer, Lucas Burnley, and the CRKT Pillar. I was also considering those initially. They were quite popular that later on they come out with an improved version with better steel and fancier scale. Then I developed a taste for titanium, so I got this fancier one later on. It's actually a knockoff from Manker Elfin as the original designer. But the price difference was quite too much, so I thought I'd give this one a try. I like it so much that I might still get the Manker one later on. It has this industrial robotic styling, which looks really cool. I was so used to the assisted opening of the Kershaw that I was a bit surprised while trying to open it the first time. This one really just flies open, whereas This one, I really need to use my wrist to flick it open, but I'm used to it by now and I actually prefer this one. Again, this flipper also doubles as a really nice secure finger guard. The original one came with the titanium M390 steel, whereas this one is using a D2, which I think is not as good but still better than the 8CR 13MOV. Normally I prefer a minimalist or cleaner look, such as one of my dream knife, the IQ by Quiet Carry, which just wants the blade show best factory folding knives. Congratulations to them. Really digging the black on black carbon looks. Anyway, back to this. I'll also put some specs on the screen. Being a knockoff, I guess it came with some compromises. I believe the build quality and the craftsmanship is not the same. For example, this tip is not symmetrical, which should be something that can be fixed with a bit of sharpening. Speaking of which, they both came in quite sharp, but this one holds its edge better. See, this one won't even cut anymore. I've been abusing this. Okay. Not as smooth. Wow. This one's obviously sharper. There are no pocket clips anywhere, but at this size it doesn't really need one. This one is even smaller, with barely 3-finger grip, but it does have this big and nice lanyard loop, so I added a titanium bit to complement the look and to provide a better grip. Some jimping here, but not in useful placement. Should be somewhere here, I think. Reverse grip, again finger guard and lanyard really help. Frame lock also seems secure. No blade play at all, not even a bit. I ordered Giltek RUK II. It's not folding knife per se, it's more like a utility knife. RUK or RUK stands for Rapid Utility Knife. First impression while holding it, this aluminum version is really light, almost plasticky. I mean, I'm used to small knives, but they all have this heft to them. But they do come in different heavier materials such as brass or titanium. Let's look around. Like all multi-tools, they have this bottle opener, some jimping here, wire cutter, stripper, flathead screwdriver, or you can use it as a light duty prying tool, I guess. There's this for a bit kit. I really like the deployment mechanism. It's secured, it won't come out. See enough pressure from this part here, and doesn't require two hands to operate, which is nice, but it's not perfect. There's always room for improvement, right, Tyler? Some things that I would personally change about this cutout. I'd rather not have it. It's even though it's deep enough that you won't accidentally touch it. But there were times when I felt it move, especially while holding like this and deploy the blade. Doesn't really cut me, I just felt it. I know they added this so that you don't need to deploy the blade as much, which means supposed to be less accident, but I rather just use this instead of having that the whole time with the blade exposed like that. Really sharp edges on this side. I'll show you. As you can see, can really hurt you. I think I will grind this a little bit. There are some more sharp points here, but it's not as exposed because it's facing it more inward like this. So these are fine. And as others had mentioned before, there's no really a finger guard to protect you to protect your finger from slipping. So what I end up doing is using this part here, this groove here, and hold it like this. So might as well move the whole thing up until the flat side at the end, and maybe put more jimping here. That would be nice. And don't really need yet another bottle opener. The operation might not always be the smoothest. It is, I mean, it's either it needs time to break in, or I need time to get used to it. Either way, I cannot make it to get stuck anymore. It's almost always smooth for me now. And there's actually two stop steps, but if you're doing this, there's no way you know where to stop. So one way to get around it is you pull it out a little bit and then step back and you press this part and it will snap and it get locked. Some specs. I was interested and kind of prefer the cleaner design of the titanium pocket tool by Big Eye Design. It only comes in titanium though. Well, the RUK also comes in the TI option, but for titanium version I might get the TPT instead. Next up is Pocket Samurai from Stat Gear. This thing is really tiny, but came in really sharp. It has some Japanese character markings, and it has 440C steel, which I think is the best steel that I own currently. This thing also comes in titanium, which double the price, and it has a small loop for lanyard. I mean, you can do one-handed deployment, but it's really hard. That's why this comes in handy. I cut myself several times while trying to practice it, so let's see if I can do it. I mean, I wouldn't do it regularly, but it's doable. Some specs on it. And it's not as sharp anymore. Yeah, it's not as sharp anymore. It was really sharp. No. I also try out these cheap knockoffs just to get the feel of their form factors. This is a copy from Spyderco dog tag, which match a real dog tag. This particular one has quite a strong detent on it, almost as strong as a frame lock. You can do a one-hand deployment. And this one is a copy from Search Knives. I believe it's the original designer. It's called Pachinko Coin Claw. And this particular one has a really weak detent, which is almost non-existent. Looks cool though. Last but not least, this is a copy from Gerber GDC zip blade. Really tiny, and it has a frame lock, surprisingly. Obviously, I don't even need to do a paper cut test on this. So what do you guys think? Do you have any other recommendation of what I should check out next? Actually, I have a few wish lists, some that I had mentioned earlier. First one is a Quiet Carry IQ Black Carbon. I'm quite positive that I'll get that one sooner or later. Another is modern slip joints with some wood scales, such as James Brent County or Lion Steel Dome. I would really like to know which do you guys prefer, because I had a hard time deciding between those two. Everyone seems to like Chris Reeve, Sabenza and Spyderco brand. I mean, I can see the design of the crosshatch is quite attractive, but the only Spyderco that I'm interested in so far is this small dog tag. Anyways, that's it for now. See you guys in the next one. Bye now.